What up, guys? We have a cut test today, the Civivi Qubit. I'm really excited for you guys to see this video. I'm doing the voiceover after the fact, and it did really well. So, check this out. This is 14C 28N blade steel, aluminum handle, $65 knife, which is a very, very good deal. Very thin slicey blade, 0.09 inches on the blade stock thickness, and it's averaged right around 13 thousandths on the thickness behind the edge. So real slicey all around. Kind of a Spyderco-esque blade shape, leaf-shaped blade with the tip pointing downward. It's going to be killer at utility cuts, killer at slicing, just all around. This is an incredible EDC knife. Here's the factory edge, real nice and sharp. And let's get into it. I am so impressed with this knife. I really haven't put it down since I got it a couple days ago. And after seeing how it cuts, yeah, this is going to be hard to get out of the pocket. It's fidgety, it's fun, it makes great sounds. The detent on the plunge lock is excellent. Just so many good things about this knife. Ugh. Choking up when I'm going through the cardboard so that it doesn't get caught in the choil when I'm slicing. It's not an overly roomy forward finger choil, but it's big enough to get your finger up there and prevent the cardboard from slipping in. Look at this thing just blasting through the cardboard. We're doing 20 feet of a regular thickness cardboard here. Just blazing through. The only thing that has cut this easily through the cardboard is the Opinel and the TRMs. Really nice. Let's get out the triple thickness cardboard and see how it fares on that. We'll cut 10 feet of this stuff. Here we go. Wow. Blazing through it. Just barely noticeable from the regular cardboard. A little bit more pressure needed to get it to go through the cut, but barely, man. Barely. Insane. 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 Let's get the cutting board out and do some utility cuts. Check this out. So you don't even have to raise your wrist up very high at all to get to the tip. Look how low it is down to the surface where we're still in contact with the tip. It's pretty crazy. Just looking at the knife, you wouldn't really think that. But once you get it in hand, how that tip is angled downward, it's so nice. And look at this. It's cutting the cardboard so cleanly that it's not even moving off of the surface from where it got cut. Look at that. That's the sign of a very sharp utility cutter, when it just lays flat like that. Crazy, man. Look at that. Super clean cuts. Didn't have to press down very hard. Freaking awesome. Still got a bitey edge left too. Hell yeah. Now, Brian at Transparent Knives had tested this 14C, and it was in a good optimal range for the blade steel. I forget exactly what it was, but it got the A-OK from Brian, so that is great to hear. That means it's good quality 14C, which, you know, I've always been not like I don't know. I've always been curious about how Civivi did with their heat treats. I never really heard one way or the other. I haven't had like problems with their heat treats, but I just never really knew. But I gotta say, after testing this 14C, I think this is probably some of the best 14C I've tested, at least from what I could tell. Look at how easily it's cutting the glove, man. Gosh. Just not even a full length of the blade pushing through, and it's cut cleanly through. Like chopping up a cucumber. Wowza. Super, super clean cutting. This knife is a monster. And our edge is still cutting the paper. I've tested 14C that would not be cutting paper at this point. For sure I have. Let's try it on the strap. This is heavy duty ratchet strap material. I don't think it's going to go all the way through just because of the blade length. You can see it's almost as wide as the strap itself. So I don't think it's going to go all the way through. And you'll see in a minute. It doesn't. It goes about, well, that one was like 7/8 of the way through. So, real close. It felt like it passed through the strap real easily, but it just didn't have the edge length to get through it all the way. So that's fine. That's kind of what I expected. Three-quarters of the way through that time. So, not too bad at all. I felt like it was really not a sharpness thing. It was a blade length thing. Let's test our edge again. Sometimes that ratchet strap material really eats up edges. And I can definitely notice it getting duller at this point, but we are still really able to cut paper, so awesome. Going to get the rope here. This is a nylon 1/2-inch rope, so it's not the polypropylene really hard stuff that I used to use. I'm just debating on whether I want to get that stuff again because it puts scratches on blades. I'm still trying to find a good heavy-duty rope that's a little bit harder to get through than this stuff. This stuff is just too easy. I mean, you can see the Qubit's just making short work of it, but most knives do. So I want to find some rope that's more heavy duty, harder to get through, but also won't scratch the blades. Let me know if you guys can, or if you guys have any suggestions. The ergonomics, as I was pushing through the cardboard and the strap and everything, was really, really good. These edges around the aluminum scales are all rounded really nicely. It's not a chamfer, they're actually rounded. It's a radius. It's really nice. Didn't feel the clip one bit. Just extremely comfortable. Neutral handle. And we are still cutting paper. Holy crap. This thing will not stop. Jeez. You can tell the coating on the blade is getting a little... I think it'll probably clean off, but this is one of the reasons why I don't usually get black blades, is as soon as you cut some cardboard, it just looks... It leaves a lot of residue and marks on the blade. If this was a stonewash or satin blade, you wouldn't see all that stuff. But that's fine. I don't care. This is a user, so it's all good. I'm going to cut another 20 feet of cardboard just because this thing has not stopped yet. Let's cut another 20 feet. How about it? Just so easily cutting. It's so fun. It's like cutting just regular paper. It's crazy. Another 20 feet. Down. So that's 40 feet altogether. And our edge is still freaking cutting the paper. Holy crap. Action feels exactly as it did when we started. Just awesome. I'm looking around for other things to cut. I guess we could go back to the triple thickness. I forget what I do. Maybe I do some... Oh yeah, I think I do more utility cuts. Look at this. You can go quickly because you don't have to push down that hard. And it's just... yeah. Not leaving anything uncut. Super clean. Super fast. Super comfortable. Craziness. I can just do this all day. We forgot to do the Kirby's earlier. Kirby, successful. This is a really fantastic knife. I would recommend this to literally anybody. Unless you don't like button locks, and that's fair if you don't. But if you do, then this is an amazing knife. I think I'm going to have to do a battle between this and the Wharncliffe Pyrite, and maybe the Echo as well. Because this is really the three top budget button locks ever, in my opinion, is the CJRB Echo, the CJRB Pyrite, and the Civivi Qubit. Now there's a Sencut Serene that I still haven't tried. That's with an aluminum handle as well. It's supposedly really good. I don't think it's going to be as slicey as this though. I don't think it's as thin blade stock, but I'll have to look and see. But so far, at least for button locks I've tried, this is right up there with the Pyrite, easily. And the Echo. Detent-wise it is. Cutting-wise it is. It's actually a thinner blade stock than the Pyrite. The Pyrite is pretty thin, but the Qubit's even thinner. Thinner behind the edge as well. So this is going to be a better slicer than the Pyrite. And I mean, I would say just all around a better cutter in general. I think it did better with the utility cuts even. So pretty crazy, man. I didn't think budget button locks could get much better. Apparently they can. Very impressed with Civivi here. I've tried a lot of Civivi button locks. When the button lock craze kind of first began with the Civivi Cogent, that was kind of one of the very first budget button locks. And I bought it. I owned it. I loved it. I also owned the Chevalier, the Conspirator, and the Altus, all Civivi button locks. I liked them all just fine. They were all a little mushy on the detent. The Altus was actually not bad, but this is another level as far as the detent feeling, the plunge lock detent. It is so nice and snappy. Gosh, they figured something out. I don't know if CJRB shared their secrets with Civivi. I don't know, but they did something different here, and it's great. So you can see with a little bit of stropping, we are back to really nice and sharp. And I mean, we were nice and sharp even before the stropping. We never really dulled this thing. It definitely got duller, but we never completely dulled it and stopped it from cutting the paper. So very, very good test on this knife. Passed with flying colors, and yeah, I mean, I have nothing negative to say. Sharpening trail and plunge grind is good too. Ergonomics is good. Action is great. Cutting performance, great. Blade steel, hardness, great. What is there negative to say? I already spine whacked the shit out of it. That's solid. I mean, the pocket clip works great. Deep carry, inset. Doesn't create a hot spot. Blade centered. Lockup is solid. I really can't think of anything negative. I guess aesthetically, when it's closed, there's that weird little bottle opener area. That bothers some people. It doesn't bother me, though. I could care less what a knife looks like when it's closed. I only care about what it looks like when it's open and how it feels in my hand. So that doesn't bother me at all. But it might for some people, and that's fine. So yeah, I have really nothing negative to say. If the only small, tiny nitpick I can think of is they didn't put a cover plate on the lefty milled out spot for the clip, a filler tab. That's the only thing I can think of, and it doesn't even matter because it doesn't affect the ergos or anything. But that's really the only negative I can think of. This knife did amazingly. Thanks for watching, guys. Please hit the like button before you head out, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.